All right, well, we'll start off with a couple of stories concerning the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, both reported by Deb Murphy for Sierra Wave Media. Now, a 3-year effort to repair or replace a half-mile stretch of 75-year-old pipeline delivering irrigation water to the Big Pine Paiute tribe of the Owens Valley ditch system may have partially ended. Los Angeles Department of Water and Power will have the pipe fixed within the next 4 to 6 weeks. Additionally, issues over who owns, has responsibility for, or access to that same pipe will be resolved eventually. Now, apparently, the appearance of a large contingent from the tribe at the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power Board of Commissioners meeting yesterday did the trick. Now, the group spoke during the public comment period. Now, according to Big Pine's Alan Baycock, quote, the session was atypical. He said there was comments, he said there was a pause in the comments, then said that Christina Noonan took out her checkbook and offered to pay for it. The comments kept coming. The check was passed to the commission chair, but under the Brown Act, no board action was taken. Now, according to an LADWP press release, General Manager David Wright, quote, directed staff to take immediate steps to fix the failing pipeline without using the commissioner's generous donation, end quote. Now, the release goes on to quote Wright, saying, in the spirit of cooperation, we will expedite the repair or replacement of the failing portions of the irrigation pipe at our own cost as we had originally offered. We will continue discussions with the tribe and the Bureau of Indian Affairs regarding the underlying ownership, maintenance, responsibilities, and other issues at a future time, end quote. Now, yesterday was the second time the tribe has approached the board with the issue. According to Baycock, the deteriorating pipe situation was first noted in 2012. The half-mile long conduit starts at a pond, half on LADWP land, half on the reservation, where the water is monitored. From the pond, it flows through the pipe and out feeder lines and then enter into the reservation irrigation ditch system. Now, that pipe was installed in the early 1940s by the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Baycock said, shortly after the land swap agreement with LADWP that established 3 reservations lands in the Owens Valley, Bishop, Big Pine, and Lone Pine. Now, that pipe is on LADWP land within 10 to 20 feet of the reservation boundary. Now, Deb Murphy reports that by 2015, the impact of the loss of irrigation water and the severity of the pipe's condition were very evident, according to Baycock. The tribe received grant funding for the fix and approached LADWP for the necessary paperwork. Baycock said, we felt the language was too inhibiting for the tribe. The pipe's problems continued. Now, negotiations continued and both parties reached an agreement in concept. But when the actual documents were reviewed by the tribe, Baycock said they were not in the best interest of the tribe. More specifically, the agreement stated all disputes related to the 1939 that land swap agreement would be considered settled. That would put us in a vulnerable spot, Baycock said. Now, the negotiations obviously aren't over, but the tribe will have irrigation water this growing season. Now, Deb Murphy also had a story follow-up on LA Mayor Eric Garcetti's press conference on Monday, and Deb Murphy writes that we all knew it was in the works, but listening to Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti and the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power staff announced the emergency declaration for the length of the Los Angeles aqueduct system and describe the danger to life, property, and hydroelectric plants, and especially the Owens Lake dust mitigation measures, was intimidating. Maybe we should all have toned down our rain dances over the past 5 years, Deb writes. Now, Mayor Garcetti made the announcement at that press conference in Los Angeles on Monday, which was streamed live over the internet, calling the declaration a preemptive strike to protect homes and lives. The department, he said, is managing the flow out of Crowley Lake with the hope of preventing habitat and infrastructure damage. The biggest concern is the billion-dollar dust mitigation measures on Owens Lake that have reduced emissions by 97%. That infrastructure could end up under 7 feet of water, Garcetti said. Now, according to Richard Harrisick, he's the Senior Assistant General Manager of Water Systems, with the snowpack at 2.5, the department anticipates 1 million acre-feet of water coursing through the system. Now, we will note that LA Aqueduct Manager Jim Yanata recently estimated the runoff at 750,000 acre feet. Now the problem is the capacity of the aqueduct is 500,000 acre feet, leaving the department to manage the other half. Now, some water will go to meet and exceed mitigation and irrigation obligations. As much as physically possible will be spread and captured in the groundwater basin, but Harrison estimated 200,000 acre feet will end up in Owens Lake, wreaking havoc on the 4-foot berms and pump stations used to deliver water to quadrants on the lake that once measured 108 square miles. Now, also in danger are the tilled fields and areas growing salt grasses. Harrison estimated the lake bed could be underwater up to 18 months. Now, the department is also channelizing water north of the lake to lessen the impact of runoff flows. Canals and ditch systems in the valley are also being cleared. Now, when asked about the timing of the declaration, Mayor Garcetti responded that while the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power had been taking steps to protect both valley communities and aqueduct infrastructure, the city needed help from the state to cover the potential damage. Repair to damage dust control mechanisms could run as high as $500 million. Now, at the end of his opening remarks, Garcetti referenced the conflicts between Inyo County and Los Angeles. But in that press conference on Monday, he was thanking his Inyo County partners, the Inyo County Board of Supervisors and Chief Administrative Officer Kevin Caruncio. And again, we thank Deb Murphy for those reports for Sierra Wave Media. Well, we're getting information from Inyo County that residents, you can't help prevent flooding. There is going to be local flooding. Consider being proactive and purchase and filling sandbags before the anticipated heavy spring runoff. Now, sandbags for flood preparedness are available from many Inyo County merchants, residents, and businesses in known flood areas. You are urged to prepare ahead of time. Now, Inyo County notes that in the event of emergency flooding, sandbags are available at the Bishop, Big Pine, Independence, Lone Pine, and Olancha fire stations. Also, emergency sandbags will be distributed at the discretion of each local fire chief, but they may be limited based on weather conditions, need, and demand. Now, that press release notes, fight flooding at home by preparing ahead of time. That whole press release is posted on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, a press release states that the Inyo County Employees Association, that's the ICEA, local number 315, of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, that's the AFSCME, officially at an impasse with Inyo County. After bargaining, the press release notes, for nearly 12 months and working without a contract for nearly 6 months, the union requested impasse mediation. Mediation did take place today, but the press release notes did not result in an agreement. Now, said Wendy Stein, a member of the AFSCME negotiating committee and an employee of the County Sheriff's Department of Independence, said, while the union has had flexibility in our position, the county has failed to make a proposal that allows us to keep pace with other public sector workplaces, end quote. Now, that press release said throughout the bargaining process, employees have voiced serious concerns about the county's ability to recruit and retain experienced staff, thereby protecting strong public services. Now, many of the county's numerous open employment positions have been posted for months, that press release notes. Now, the ICEA represents the employees who support seniors and veterans, plow and maintain roads, abate mosquitoes, protect child welfare, deliver health services, analyze drinking water, inspect restaurants, run the libraries, airports, parks and museums, care for lost animals, process garbage, manage wetlands, conduct local elections, plan for emergencies, and respond to 911 calls, and keep Inyo County funded in order to continue all these services. Now, that press release notes employees are also concerned about a growing disparity between the lowest paid and the highest paid employees at the county level. An analysis of wages over the past 23 years shows the lowest paid classifications, which ICEA represents, increasing 42% and averaging 2% per year. Now, in contrast, the highest paid administrative classifications not part of the ICEA have increased 150% and average 6.5% per year. Now, the press release says for the next 2 years, the county is offering increases of only 1% per year, which amounts to just over 12 cents an hour for the lowest paid classification in Inyo County. The union will be scheduling a town hall meeting and invites the Inyo County Board of Supervisors, the media, members of the community to join the employees in attending. We'll note that that entire press release has been posted on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, the Mammoth Lakes Parks and Recreation Department hosting its 3rd annual Recreation Open House. That's coming up Tuesday, March 28th. That'll be at the Mammoth Elementary School Multi-Purpose Room, 5 to 7 p.m. Press release notes it's a one-stop shop for everything recreation. It's your opportunity to plan your summer adventure by interacting, learning, or, yes, registering for many of the diverse summer camps, programs, and activities offered in the community. Now, said Stuart Brown, Parks and Recreation Director, we are committed to connecting with each and every community member to provide enhanced, innovative, and age-appropriate programs that promote healthy and active lifestyles. Stewart says, I highly encourage you to join us March 28th. Summer is right around the corner. Now, the Recreation Open House, obviously a free event. All attendees, you'll receive a 5% discount coupon for registering for Parks and Recreation Department summer programs. All summer parks and recreation programs go on sale April 3rd. That full press release, you can get all the information on sierrawave.net. Well, a man was arrested Tuesday evening after crimes were committed in Olancha early Tuesday morning. Now, according to the Inyo County Sheriff's Department, Louis Manette, a 40-year-old man from Watsonville, California, was apprehended and charged with burglary, vehicle theft, and carrying a concealed firearm. Inyo County Sheriff's Department reports that at approximately 2:45 a.m. Tuesday, Sheriff's Office was notified of a burglary at the Ranch Motel in Olancha and attempted theft of a vehicle from the mobile gas station in Olancha. The suspect broke into one of the rooms at the motel by kicking the door in, ransacking the room, and stealing bedding. The suspect then attempted to steal a vehicle that was parked at the Olancha Mobile. However, unfortunately, the vehicle was only able to drive 200 yards before it stopped running. The suspect then fled on foot northbound on U.S. Highway 395. As you've seen, the mobile was able to capture some photos on the security camera of the suspect. And later Tuesday, Manette was arrested and taken to the Inyo County Jail in Independence. Bail was set at $100,000. We'll be back with more news.